Well, I think every time I'm going to think about Hamlet's little laziness next time on, I'm going to be reminded of the addiction to smoke a cigarette. And I think laziness will be kicked in the butt and out of the way. That's the power or the message that I take home from your table topic speech today. Thank you, Diptendu. Let us look forward to the next topic. Who would want to volunteer? The topics are easy. They aren't tough, I'm sure. Okay, can I call upon a guest who would like to speak on the topic? Ravinder, would you want to take a dip?
Aditi, sure.
Sure. Okay. So the topic for you, Ravinder, is what's a small habit that you find hard to start and why? Ravinder, what's a small habit that you find hard to start and why?
I believe who all are sitting here. Everyone wanted to become a good speaker. Everyone wanted to see themselves staging over the podium, a big stage, and people are cheering you, clapping for you. But you have a fear also inside before you go to stage, before you go to podium. Even if you are in a meeting room of very few people, very selected people, whom you communicate daily, with whom you talk daily, either over the phone, face-to-face meeting, or any project discussion. But when it's come to you speak, especially when you become in the spotlight and you have to speak, your breath, your heartbeat go up, down, up, down, up, down. So that is one thing, the habit which I want to get away from myself. I also wanted to see myself, but lot of other responsibilities, task, timing were not allowing me to come out of my this fear, my this habit, and I want to adapt this. I think from the last 3 4 years, not even it's a very small time, from the very long time I was thinking to get rid of one habit, just to over leave everything and start join the Toastmaster communication skills, improve yourself. But no, because they were holding me back. But now I decided I will left over each and everything behind me. And I wanted to see myself in front of everyone. I also wanted people cheer up for me, clap for me. And that's the one habit which I want to get rid of and adapt to become a good communications speaker. So I hope you also have the same. If not, just think again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravinder. Thank you. So I'm sure while you were sharing your resistance or your habit that you want to break, we were thinking of our own. That was the power of your speech. You're inspiring us today, Ravinder. And well, a job well begun is half done. You're halfway there. It's just a matter of completing it now. Good luck to you. Thank you. Let's move on to our third speaker. Any other guests? Sanchi, would you want to pick up a topic?
Sure, Deepti, I'll give it a shot.
Yes, that's great. Sanchi, the topic for you is what's a common excuse that people use to avoid difficult tasks? What's a common excuse that people use to avoid difficult tasks?
I think one common excuse that people use to avoid doing anything difficult is that they are extremely busy with their lives, and that in this hustle of work, family, and taking care of our health every now and then, um, people think there is less time to invest in doing a difficult task. The real reason, though, I feel is our resistance, as we are um, the topic that we are talking on in this meeting. Resistance can be due to certain core beliefs about ourselves, or that we ourselves are not aware of, or some experience, past experience of our life, or it can be due to that inner critic that all of us have. Um, but then I think we should rise up to the occasion and, invest our time and energy into doing something that is actually good for us, though difficult, because that's what life is about, learning and growth. And in the end, it makes us happy to do something that was difficult, that was a challenge, um, but helped us grow. Yeah, that would be it.
Right. Thank you, Sanchi. So I asked for one common excuse and you've given me four. That's beautiful. The fact that we always say that we are busy, we might have our core beliefs which do not let us move forward, previous or past experiences, and our inner critic. Thank you. Well, let us all be mindful of such excuses that we keep giving ourselves so that we can achieve to what makes us feel happy. Thank you, Sanchi. Timer, do we have time for one or two more topics?
We
Colonel
could
Prakash,
one or we could.
one more? Okay, I see Ujjwal. Hi, Ujjwal. Would you want to
Good
take
morning.
up a topic? Yeah, good morning. Would you want to take up a topic?
I can try.
Yes, you must try. That's awesome. Okay, here's the topic for you, Ujjwal. What motivates you when you're feeling stuck or unmotivated? What motivates you when you're feeling stuck or unmotivated?
It all happens with everybody. Sometimes we stuck in some situations in our lives, whether it is a professional life or a personal life. So only motivation for me at that time is to be calm and do some spiritual exercises which can relax the mind and give you opportunity to think how to overcome that situation, and so that you can go ahead and move forward, surpassing the stuckness and eventually uh, reach to your goal. So spiritual uh, exercises are the one which helps a lot for me. Thank you.
Vidya muted.
Oh, I was speaking on mute, Ujjwal. I thought, so why don't you continue speaking? What kind of spiritual exercises? Because the timer has not yet shown the green card. So you still have time.
pranayam and thinking thinking about the situation in a calm, in a remote mode, and come out with a uh, you know uh, uh, with some kind of uh, past experience of the same situations helps a lot to analyze the current situation, to come out of the this situations. So that's all.
Right. Thank you so much, Ujjwal. Yes, remaining calm and doing some form of exercises, whether it is breathing exercises or thinking through, helps us calm down and look at things from a different perspective, from being outside that circle of trouble. So beautifully said, Ujjwal. Thank you. Colonel Prakash, can we take just one topic more? Because I see Ilios
Elios,
volunteering.
yes,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
we could,
All right. So, Ilios, you ready? I have a topic for
Yes.
you too. Okay. So the topic for you, Ilios, is how do you deal with distractions when you're trying to focus? How do you deal with distractions when you're trying to focus? Toastmaster Ilios.
Am I audible, visible, Viversa? Yeah, okay, okay. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, which phone that this is? Here, here, here. Ah, so many distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, if you could forbid something in your life, what that you will do? Well, my teacher that time was forbidding us to use smartphone during our lecture. And I was asking her, why? Why should we not use smartphone during our lecture? We can do anything with this smartphone. We can take note, we can record, and we can take a video or take a picture of the materials there. A lot of benefits that can be used by the smartphone during the lecture. And she simply said that it is a distraction. And I said to her, what? I don't think it is a distraction. It is more beneficial for us than just a distraction. And this day, I believe her because I'm on her side right now. I'm a teacher. I was teaching my student, and this smartphone, oh, come on, this smartphone is so terrible. My students cannot stop playing on the screen. There's pop-up notification from Instagram, from TikTok, from Facebook, from her parents. And they said that it's from my parents, Ilios, Mr. Ilios. And I don't believe it at all. Because that's also my excuse for my teacher. It's for my parents. They would like to pick me up. Ilios, you are a man. You don't need to be picked up. Well, I'm speechless. And that's how I deal with distraction. I need to remove it at all without excuses. Back to you, Vidya.
Thank you so much, Ilios, for letting us enter into your world of smartphones being distractions. Well, you reminded me of the debate topics we used to have in school. Electronics, boon or bane? Smartphones, boon or a bane? Thank you for taking us back to those times. Well, with that, we come to the end of our very thrilling and exciting section of table topics. And I hand over the podium back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Monica.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti, and what a fabulous topics you have chosen to align with today's theme and the wonderful speeches each of the speaker had shared. I have a question for all. How many of you felt the resistance when Deepti was asking, raise hand, or please volunteer yourself for this speech, for this 1 minute table topic? Were you able to catch it this time? So the learning here is that resistance always stays with us, no matter what. It is like your friend who is cunning, who is always trying to distract you, who is trying to, take you out for something else which is not important at that point of time. But eventually, this friend will stay with you forever. And if you are able to learn the language of this friend of yours, you are better able to shut it down. That you stupid fellow, I don't want to listen to you. So when it says I can't, shut it off by saying I can. When it says I am not ready, tell it, yes, I can still do it and learn in the process. When it tries to ask you to procrastinate, okay, let me do it tomorrow. Tell no, it's my priority. I choose it. When you move with your choices, that's how you start to shut down this wrong friend of yours. I should not say wrong friend of yours, but eventually the friend of yours who is there to guide you, to nudge you, to tell you that something needs to be improved on and something needs to be worked upon for sure. And don't let the resistance forbid you to create a better experiences, because if you won't take an action, this resistance will still not stop you. She will still barge in as a guilt that why didn't I took the action right at time. And as Jim Rohn very beautifully says, the pain of regret is really, really harsh than the pain of discipline and action. With that, the very important segment of the Toastmaster meeting today is about to begin. So I would like to call upon the general evaluator to come with his team and share what he has observed throughout speaking us.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Madam TM Modi. That was a wonderfully presented theme. And it's time for the general evaluation section. So we would begin this section first of all by listening from the speech evaluators. So Toastmaster Chintan's speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Mehak. So Mehak, can you please go ahead and share your evaluation of Chintan's speech with us?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dityendu. Good morning, everyone. Imagine you're sitting in a dark auditorium, the air thick with anticipation, and suddenly the spotlight hits the stage. And here is our speaker, Toastmaster Chintan, receiving the gold medal for his outstanding academic performance. What an opening! That painted such a vivid picture and set the stage perfectly for the speaker and for the audience for the rest of your speech, Toastmaster Chintan. Your storytelling was both immersive and engaging with the audience, and your ability to transform and transport us to your world, that moment was commendable. And the energy that you showed when you just entered your speaking position was on another level. You surprised the audience when the camera was switched off and how it switched on that you were receiving the gold medal. Something that was initially not just lit up, and the auditorium was again lit with your surprise entry. Kudos to you for showing such creativity and the great use of technology in your speech today. Second thing that I loved about your speech was the command of language, particularly the phrases like a man of few words. When you showed this as a description that you gave for the secretary or maybe for the professor, added depth and sophistication to your narrative as well. Something that grabbed me and hooked me to your speech was the questions that you keep popping in between your speech. For instance, have you ever been in sticking in when you had no option? Have you ever been mocked in your life? How did you felt? Have you ever sat on a bench alone? These were some of the things that you showed in your speech. Give us all more inclusivity to us so that we can reach out and we can be hooked to your story throughout. However, at certain points, I felt that the story was a bit prolonged, which could have been tightened to maintain the momentum. For instance, when you describe certain interactions and certain scenes, maybe that could have been shortened up so that you could have more time to give a conclusion towards the end. For instance, when you were describing certain people in the story, maybe that could have been little shortened up so that maybe a greater conclusion or a message could be more clear in your story. And the other thing that could be improved upon was your facial expression. For instance, at certain points, I found that when you were saying that the professor completely waived off the fees, at that point, maybe a surprise or a joy or a relief, some kind of facial expression could have been anticipated. So it shows that your narrative is being combined with your facial expression as well. Overall, it was a brilliant speech, well executed storytelling, strong body language, connected to the audience as well. And the transition that you make was on point. Just a little more connecting and a little bit story that could be worked upon and rephrased, and a little more expression that could be given in your speech would make it a brilliant speech again. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Diptin.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meg. Wonderful evaluation. Let us hear from the second evaluator for today's meeting. That is Toastmaster Swati. Swati, would you take the stage and tell us about Charu's speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Deeptendu. First of all, congratulations, Toastmaster Charu, on completing your icebreaker speech, and you definitely did a great job. So talking about your structure of the speech first, and then we'll move to presentation. So starting with the title Desires Life in Me. I think it was very concise and it aligned very nicely with the content that you had to present and the message that you had to convey. Then your speech had a standard structure. It had a beginning, core content, and conclusion. In the beginning, you started with a quote, which was very good. I think it is a very interesting way to start with a quote always. Your storytelling was attention grabbing as well. You give a very holistic 360-degree view of your life, starting from your birth to present, how you feel about your life today, what you feel about yourself today. So I think that's what the purpose of an icebreaker is, to tell about yourself. Also, your speech had a dynamic flow. So every segment, it flowed smoothly into the other, from your life in UK to Roorkee and to your present self. Another thing that I really liked in the structure of your speech was the emotional depth. For example, when you were telling about when you were preparing for your IIT entrance exam, so the speech had an emotional element there, which made it interesting. And in the end, you ended where you started from. You ended with a desire that you think that your greatest achievement so far has been IIT Roorkee, but you aspire to achieve more. So I think it was a very good way of ending it with the desire and hope. Coming to the presentation part, so the expressions were good, hand movements were good, especially in the second half of your speech. Fluency, articulation, diction, everything were really good. And there was calmness and confidence in your voice, in your presentation, which I really liked. Certain areas of improvements for you can be, first of all, the camera angle and the camera distance. So camera should be at a distance from where at least the upper half of your body is visible. Also, the structure of your speech was really perfect, fine for me, but as a challenge for your next speech, you can add certain elements like humor or interaction, which really decorate your speech. So all in all, perfect structure for me. In presentation, you can work on the camera angle and you can add some decorative elements. So it was lovely hearing you, and thank you. That was from my side.
Right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swati, for your evaluation. I would now be sharing a Google form for voting of the best evaluator, and of course, it would be between Swati and Mehak. While you vote for the best evaluator, let us hear from the tag team players as well, tag role players for today's meeting as well. So, first up, it is going to be Toastmaster Prem. Prem, we would love to hear how we did on timing in each of the sections in today's meeting. So, would you please share your report?
Yeah. So on timing, I think let me go with the prepared speeches first. Then I'll talk about the evaluators and then the table topics and then the evaluators. To start with prepared speeches, we had Toastmaster Chintan deliver his first speech. So he took about 7 minutes and 54 seconds. So he overshot his time by 54 seconds. Then we had a second speech by Toastmaster Charu. That was her icebreaker speech, which had timing for 4 to 6 minutes. And she crossed her time limit by 10 seconds. So she finished her speech in 6 minutes, 10 seconds. Then for the table topics, we had Mr. Diptendu as the first table topic speaker, who took 2 minutes, 13 seconds. The second speaker, we had the guest speaker, Mr. Ravinder Malik, who took exactly 2 minutes. Then Sanchi Bahel, the guest speaker, she took 1 minute, 30 seconds. Then Ujjwal, we had 56 seconds in the beginning, and then again, Dipti asked her to share a little more. So that went on to 1 minute, 30 seconds. And Elios took 2 minutes, 23 seconds. As for the evaluators, I think Mahak took 3 minutes, 27 seconds, overshot by 27 seconds. And Swati took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is about the time for various speakers and evaluators. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prem. So, just wanted to circle back to the time taken by the prepared speakers. Could you please state it again?
Second, please.
Can you please state the time taken by each of the prepared speakers? Were any of them disqualified?
The prepared speeches.
Yeah.
Prepared speech, Mr. Chintan took 7 minutes, 54. Both of them, even Charu had ice-breaking speech, so she took 6 minutes, 10 seconds.
Okay. So 7 minute 54 second for Chintan and 6 minute 10 seconds for Charu. All right. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Prem. So that was a great report presented by Colonel Prem. It really puts into perspective of how did we pace ourselves in the section that we spoke in, be it table topics, prepared speech, or speech evaluations. So let us continue the juggernaut and hear from Ankan, who would be presenting his report as the grammarian and accountant.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu. I am ready with my accountant and grammarian report. And as for accountant report, I have to say that today's meeting was on a whole flawless. There were very few filler words, repetitive words. In fact, I had to do a bit of nitpicking to pick up those filler words and repetitive words, so don't take offense in that. Sachi used one filler word, and couple of 3 or 4 repetitive words like Ujjwal used 1 or 2 ums. Swati used 1 Mehak used 2 or 3 I will also like to mention about Ujjwal's speech. He was taking some pauses because he was probably short of words, but he wasn't using any filler words or repetitive words. He was just making it look like a meaningful pauses. So that is probably a learning for all of us how to carry it forward. And as for grammarian report, some of the good users were few lines said by Chintan, like I was studying with empty stomach because I was hungry for knowledge. I find it really catchy. Charu used words like rivulet, which means small stream of water. Toastmaster Diptendu used words like emanates, resonates. Toastmaster Monica used words like bhajan, pain of regret is harsher than pain of discipline. And some of the bad uses were I will left. I heard this. I will left. It should be I have left or I will leave. When it comes to you, or that it would better sound when it happens to you or when it come to you. And among the speakers who have used word of the day forbidden, Elios and Monica were the two speakers who have used word of the day. So that's all from Grammarian Report. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankan. Thank you very much. And let us be very aware of the report that is shared by the R counter and the grammarian. Of course, for today it was Ankan, because these are the areas that we certainly should improve upon in order to become more fluent, more effective speakers. So great job done by both the supplementary role players, Prem and Ankan. Now I'd move to, since many of you have already voted for the best evaluator, I would now move to my report as the general evaluator, and I would first start by commenting on Mehek and Swati's evaluation. Mehek stated some platitudes for the speaker, which according to me is optional, uh, and can be done away with. The language skills demonstrated by Mehek during evaluation were superlative. They were absolutely superb. As a consequence, the positives stated by Mehek were very well crafted, very well stated, and were on point. So good job done there. The energy in terms of speaking and in terms of the vibe was very high. Great. The recommendation also centered around content and delivery. One recommendation on content, one on delivery. So that's a great point demonstrated by Mehak today, and something all of us can take back home when we want to evaluate someone. We can evaluate on the hard skills and the soft skills, or on the content and the delivery. So that was well done. And of course, Mehak went ahead and summarized her evaluation as well. Most importantly, the entire evaluation centered around the speech and the speaker. So not once did she veer from the objective of the evaluator. So great job, Mehak. On to Swati. Swati also started with congratulations to the speaker. That again, according to me, can be done away with. What I liked was Swati clearly demarcated the divisions that would be stated in her evaluation, which was again structure and presentation. The finer point that I could observe in Swati's evaluation was that while she was evaluating the speech, she used one word. She was able to associate one word with one section of the speech. For example, when she used the word chronological order, in which Charu's speech was fluent, she talked about emotional depth. So she was able to attribute one adjective or one or two words to a particular section of the speech, basically summarizing a section of the speech. So that was a great insight for me, and I think for the speaker as well. Something that we can again learn from. Swati used a few words, which is fluency, articulation, diction. So this again is very, very interesting for me, because fluency, articulation, and diction are things we can comment on. But and we know that fluency, articulation, and diction are a part of the way we speak. But Swati made us aware of it. As far as recommendations were concerned, the recommendations could have been a little more specific, so that the speaker could actually work on something, go back home, and have some tangible points to work upon. So recommendations can be more specific. And also, I know at times summarizing the entire evaluation can seem redundant, but we still should go ahead and do that. But I think both Mehak and Swati delivered exemplary evaluations today. I think we should come back to this meeting recording afterwards and listen to both these people evaluate their deliver evaluation and take things away. So I want to clap for both Mehak and Swati. Well done. The meeting today started at 10:36 a.m. All right, before moving on, Ankan and Prem delivered very thorough tag reports, and this is extremely important. We have to know how much time we took. For example, knowing Chintan now knows that he took 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Maybe he did not plan to take this much time, so now he exactly knows how much did he overshoot by, and he can do course correction as needed. Similarly, Charu knows where she stood vis-a-vis time. So I think a diligent timer's report goes a long way in helping us become better speakers, and Prem did a diligent job with timekeeping for the table topic role players as well, and of course for the evaluators. So thank you, Prem. Our counter and remediance report by Ankan was again very thorough. Yes, Ankan had to nitpick because everyone is quite fluent everyone was quite fluent in today's meeting, but Ankan did a good job still of highlighting areas where we could improve in terms of R's and Ums, crutch words, etc. And as far as the grammarians report is concerned, Ankan clearly was attentive enough throughout the meeting to highlight people who did use the word of the day that is forbidden. And overall, the grammarians report was also very productive. So let us keep taking notes during the meeting, because you never know. It could be the grammarians report or the R counters. It could be the timers report where you get insights to become better speakers. Right. So thank you, Ankan. Thanks, Prem. And now going back to the top of the meeting. Meeting started at 10:36 a.m. We were 6 minutes late, but of course, Mohit and everyone else in the meeting were finalizing and freezing the people who would be taking up roles during the meeting. So I think it is not a cause of concern according to me. We started at a fair time. They did a very good job as the Sergeant at Arms, stated the housekeeping rules, and of course started the meeting with a lot of warmth and positive energy. So well done, Deepti. On to Toastmaster Monica, the Toastmaster of the day. The TMOD session, by the way, started at 10:44. Not bad. Even if we would have started on time, that is 10:30, we can still take 10 minutes before the TMOD takes stage. So I think we maintained good time all in all. So yeah, Monica, as the Toastmaster of the day, came up with a wonderful theme, the resistance. First up, the job of a TMOD is to keep the meeting moving along at a brisk pace, which Toastmaster Monica did to perfection, and I commend Monica for that. She introduced her team, introduced the theme, moved on to general evaluation section, came back to her theme, moved on to prepared speeches section, and she kept doing that right up until the general evaluation section. So she kept it moving forward at a brisk pace, and I highly commend that. As far as the theme itself was concerned, if one was attentive enough, there were a lot of hard-hitting things that were shared by Monica. So the theme of the day is also like a prepared speech. The only thing is that it is split into many different parts, and there were a lot of things that we genuinely could take away from Monica's theme as the resistance, take away or become aware about. So basically what Monica did was make us aware about the resistance, which again gets generated from within us, and by creating this awareness, hopefully we can deal with the resistance better. All right, so another point that I have to highlight regarding the TMOD's role is introducing everyone, introducing the speaker, the evaluator, and everyone else. Monica did a fine job of keeping the introductions very crisp, very encouraging. So all the role player introductions, speaker introductions were done very well by Toastmaster Monica. All in all, a fantastic job done, Monica. It's a treat listening to you every time. So great. Let's have a round of applause for Monica. Monica has been doing a lot of heavy lifting in this meeting, and well done, Monica. On to the table topics master. Now, table topics is a mini session in itself, around 20-25 minutes of being the centerpiece of the meeting. So Toastmaster Deepti was the TTM for today's meeting. I highly commend the fact that she encouraged guests, not only guests, she encouraged everybody to come take the virtual stage and speak on the topics. So the topics were also on point, very insightful topics that would make a member or an attendee think before the topic can be attempted. So the topics were of very high quality, and of course, just like a host should, Deepti spoke a few words here and there before a speaker takes the stage, after a speaker leaves the stage, basically making for a very nice and cohesive table topics section. So I think Deepti played the role of the table topics master to perfection, and I hope that all of us take the role of TTM and keep coming up with good topics, because that really forces us to think on our feet and come up with something interesting and valuable for the audience. So all in all, both the anchor role players, Deepti as the TTM and Monica as the TMO, did a fantastic job today. Let's have a round of applause for both of them once again. In the meeting, of course, we kept on helping each other whenever needed. For example, Chintan pointing out the fact that the timer cue card should be shared only for an instant, and then the stage sharing should be stopped. Deepti also pitched in with some help while the meeting was going on. So this really goes to show the bonding we have as a club, and the support that we provide each other in a Toastmasters meeting at runtime while the meeting is going on. So I think that is again very interesting, something that we keep coming back to Toastmasters for, to experience this camaraderie, to keep helping each other. And I would again like to congratulate you all for attending today's meeting. Thank you all for attending today's meeting. That was my report as the general evaluator, and back to TMOD Monica.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dityendu. With that, today we gone over our resistances, ensure that we stay on top of what we need to do today in this Toastmaster meeting, and again congratulate everybody for the active participation. With that, I'll give back the stage to the presiding officer for today, Dityendu. Stage is yours again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so I just realized that in the GE section, I spoke a lot. I spoke a lot of words, and I recently heard. Yesterday I heard something from someone, and I'm sure that all of you are aware of it. When we dig for gold, before getting to the gold, a lot of dirt and muck and debris and carbon and coal and whatnot comes out. Hundreds of thousands of kgs of unnecessary, unvaluable things come out before we reach that 500 grams or a kg or a little amount of gold, and that is what we are searching for. So at Toastmasters meeting, a lot of things are said. Some things may interest us, some things not. Some speaker might attract us, some others might not. But when we attentively hear whatever is being said, you never know where that gold might be hiding, and we can strike on that gold if we attend a meeting with full attentiveness. So I have shared the voting link for the best evaluator. Did I share the voting link for the best supplementary role player? If not, I have not. In fact, let me just do that right now. And can someone help me with the feedback while we need to take guest feedbacks, and meanwhile I can prepare the voting forms for the best speaker and the best anchor role player. Chintan, would you like to go ahead and take guest feedback? I'll create a couple of voting forms.
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dityendu, and let's give him the round of applause for the wonderful and detailed general evaluation report. And now is the time when we will request our guest to share us what they loved and share what we can improve as we go along in the journey of our club meetings. May I request first someone whom I know, very passionate for communication and public speaking, Ravinder, to come on the stage and please share your experience in the meeting. Over to you, Ravinder.
Thank you, Chintan, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Yeah, definitely. It's always learning for me whenever I join this Toastmaster session. So it's very energetic, and every time we are learning new lessons. Active listening, the main thing, because most of the time we people are like sometimes we are on camera, sometimes not. Sometimes we just switch off our camera and go away. But I seen the active listening is the more from where you learn more instead of you speaking, right? So what I learned from the Toastmaster of the day evaluators, how briefly they evaluate the people, how they like help us to improve where we are lacking. So it's very learning, very energetic every time. Confidence also, like we are speaking. So yeah, I'm very excited to start my journey from today. I will join this Toastmaster. So yeah, I appreciate each one of your efforts who are running this meeting, preparing the speeches, and presenting over here. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ravinder. And believe me, one of the best things happened to me was the decision to be part of Toastmasters. because Toastmasters happened to me. I did not search for Toastmaster, and it was the pure moment of serendipity. So I wish that the journey would be fulfilling as many of us are experiencing. All the very best for your journey. Let's hear from Sanchi. Sanchi, would you be able to share the experience of yours, what went well or what can be done better?
Sure. So one thing I really like about Toastmasters in general also is it advocates a way of speaking that really captures the attention of the audience. And it teaches that way, which I really like because in this age of decreasing attention spans, I think we need that everywhere in our personal life, in our professional life, and in whatever hobbies also sometimes that we choose to pursue. I really like that, and the way everything is taken care of in a very streamlined way, the grammar, the timer, and how everyone is actively engaged and listening to how many fillers were there, how many hours were there. So yeah, I really like all that. It was a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanchi. And you are most welcome to attend our next meetings. We are meeting every Sunday, 10:30 to 12:30. And what you shared is the real essence of Toastmasters. And you find the same uniform quality and the structure all across the world. So happy that you liked our meeting and the experience. Next, we have the guest. And before the guest, let's hear from Charu. Charu, you had given the speech after a long time, as I heard from Mohit. So how was the experience, and do you feel relief after that speech?
Yeah. So, Chintan, like you said, that Toastmasters happened to you, right? And it's all that you were looking out for. So, same thing happened to me, Chintan. When I joined Toastmaster, I was basically on my, I joined back after my maternity leave, right? And a lot of things happen to a woman once, a child is born, it's a life-changing event. And then I was joining back my professional life. So, Toastmasters, when I discovered Toastmasters at RBS, after a few sessions, I discovered that when I started delivering speeches and hearing the speeches, I discovered that there's more to me than being an employee or a family person. There's one facet of me where I can connect with people, right? I can talk to them, reach out to them. They can reach out to me. I can know more about them. Because when you stand on the podium, you speak a few words, you share a part of your life with others. So in day-to-day life, you may not know your colleagues or friends intimately, right? But when you hear from a person speak 5 to 6 minutes about their life, you understand them. Like Chintan, after hearing your speech, I understand you better, right? Where you have come from, what your journey and struggles have been. So I know you as a person, and I understand that Chintan is a good person who has a good body of experience behind him. So after birth of my second child, I again had to take a break from Toastmaster. But now I am back again, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of this club again and restart my journey. So yeah,
Thank you so much, Charu, for that wonderful words. And it's can't be articulated in the better way than what you just shared. That the essence of the Toastmasters is something that you cannot move out of. So it's a saying that once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. And we are happy to have you back again. And all the very best. Meanwhile, the voting link, our Toastmaster of the day, our presiding officer has put in the chat. So quickly go and vote because every vote counts. And we would love to hear from you how the meeting was. Let's go and move ahead to Ujjwal. Ujjwal, how was the meeting?
For me today, very niche platform for top communication. All were fantastic speakers. Even the guest done pretty well. Uh, looking for engaging for such a well, it was a very good experience. And since I'm a new in this group and also my communications need to be improved, So I think I am not a right person to comment, but improvement is required. So I'm still a learner, level A, it's a basic. Overall, it was a good experience.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal, for sharing your experience. And what you shared is you are a learner and you are at level A. I saw you speaking, and believe me, when I started, I was at level A minus. So you are at much higher level than what I was and what many of us were. And we all are learning from everyone who come in the meeting and anyone who we interact with. So we also learn something from you, and keep attending the meetings. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that note, I hand over the stage back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Diptendu. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Chintan. Thank you so much for taking a round of feedback. And before I share the results for today's meeting, a recent song, another message that I'd like to convey. A song has come out from Coke Studio India. That song is titled Re Man. The first 4 lines of the song are as follows. भीड़ है ख्यालों की एक अकेला मन, भीड़ है ख्यालों की एक अकेला मन, खींचता दिशा दिशा तनाव बेरहम, नोचती खरोचती ये सोच जख्म दे, कोई मेरे मन को लगा दो मरहम. Now, I don't agree with the last line. कोई मेरे मन को लगा दो मरहम. Well, if you are suffering from the disease that is overthinking, if you are stressed out due to difficulties and adversities in life, well, it is up to you to take time from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. on a Sunday and attend a Toastmasters meeting. Because whatever you are overthinking about, you can take the virtual stage, give your thoughts a structure, and share it with everyone. The tendencies of overthinking will definitely subside. If you are feeling stressed out, well, being in an environment where your voice is heard by 20 odd people, and that too in an encouraging and motivating environment, is a surefire way to de-stress yourself. And finally, nochti kharchti ye soch zakhm de. Well, if your thoughts itself are hurting you, your thoughts themselves are hurting you, then Toastmasters is the best way, best place where you can learn to structure your thoughts and deliver it as a super hit speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a value proposition of Toastmasters, why we should join Toastmasters and how it is in our hand to shape our destiny, to overcome all adversities, external and internal. So let us continue fighting and living with positivity. On to the results for today's meeting. The first up, the best evaluator for today's meeting. So people have adjudicated Mehak to be the best evaluator for today's meeting. A round of applause. Mehak, you did a great job as the speech evaluator today. The best supplementary role player for today's meeting, we are 2 contenders in Prem and Ankan, and people today have voted Ankan as the best supplementary role player. Congratulations, Ankan. Moving on, the best table topics speaker for today's meeting, it is Toastmaster Ilios. Ilios, well done. It is always so exciting to hear from you. And thank you, of course, for joining our club. On to the best speaker. It was a clear-cut choice. Toastmaster Chintan, the best speaker for today's meeting, though I know
I was disqualified. I was disqualified. I think Charu was within the time. So she was the default winner.
So it is the People's Choice Award, not the critics. All right, Chintan, you did win people's heart. But of course, we loved Charu's speech, and I'm sure not one person would have disliked Charu's speech. Charu was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and of course, the best role player, people were kind enough to vote me as the best role player. But of course, this meeting was the way it was because of Deepthi and Monica as well. So thank you everyone for voting, spending time with Toastmasters Club of Storytellers and Leaders Connect Toastmasters Club on yet another warm, balmy Sunday. The mornings are going to get warm and nice. So as the winters approach, and again, I thank you all for attending today's meeting. With this, we can bring curtains to this edition of Toastmasters meeting. We can stop the recording, Mehak.